Boston versus the New York Knicks. The other one is going to be the Phoenix Suns versus Dallas Mavericks. You look at the trade deadline, Phoenix, Dallas, both those teams arguably made all the moves. Kyrie Irving goes into Dallas after Brooklyn says, yeah, we're going to disband everybody. Phoenix gets Kevin Durant. Those two moves, by far, they are the biggest moves of the trade deadline in the NBA. Now they get to face each other. Kevin Durant's finally got back in the lineup. Now you're going to play the Dallas Mavericks, and I think the Phoenix Suns are the better team. I think that was a better move. Luka Doncic is so ball dominant. Needs the ball in his hands. So does Kyrie Irving. You have a guy like Steph. You have a guy like Bradley Beal. Good without the basketball. They can move off ball. They can create space, create an opportunity for them to catch and shoot. But you're getting a guy that needs the ball as much as Luka. That's why they haven't done well. I like Phoenix in this situation. Kevin Durant does need to win. It's not because we're going to put all that pressure on him. He kind of created that for himself. You were up 3-1 against the Golden State Warriors and you blew it. So what did you do? You went and chased rings. And since that point in time, all you've done is chased rings. You went to Golden State and won a couple rings. You go to Brooklyn, team up with Kyrie Irving and try to go win again. Doesn't happen. Now you're down in Phoenix. Why? Because they have a chance to win a ring. So it does matter because you've created that legacy for yourself. I expect big things out of Phoenix Suns now. Now that he's healthy, if he can stay healthy, I expect big things out of him, and I like them in this spot against Dallas.
I have Phoenix, too. I think Phoenix is one of the better teams right now in the NBA. Adding Kevin Durant, it puts him over the top. What scares me going into the playoffs is Kevin Durant, who's been out for a significant amount of time, playing on a new team, a new offense, a new defense. He's got to transition. The season's almost over. It doesn't give Kevin Durant enough time to really sink into this offense. But with the talent that they have, and Chris Paul and Devin Booker, and the talent that they have, and even their bench, I absolutely like Phoenix in this game. I don't trust Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving is a cancer. And go look at their record since Kyrie Irving has been there. It hasn't been good.
Even when he's on the court with Luka at the same time, they're not winning games at a rate that you would expect them to win. I think Kyrie Irving is a hell of a basketball player.
Best point guard in the NBA.
He might have the best handles in the history of the NBA. It hasn't correlated to wins here for the Dallas Mavericks. Luka also needs the ball. There's only 24 seconds to a shot clock. So who's going to get the basketball? I think they're having a disconnect. I think you need a lot of time. These two players are going to need some time to even gel. And I believe it's not going to happen because I think Kyrie's going to leave anyway. I take it back to LeBron James with the Miami Heat in the first year. Why didn't they win? Because at that time, there was no direction between LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Paul. In this situation, when you need a shot, who are you giving the ball to? Because I think both of them great. I think they're going to kind of have that disconnect there. I think it's a bad move for the Dallas Mavericks, and they kind of went all in.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to stay there. I think the move is ultimately going to go where?
They're not giving him a max contract. There's no way Mark Cuban is giving him a max contract. And I will go back to last year when they had a chance to re-sign Jalen Brunson. They really struck out on that. Letting him go to free agency really killed him. Look what he's doing with the Knicks right now. He's becoming a superstar right in front of our eyes in New York, one of the hardest places to play in all of basketball. And he's putting up the numbers. So I think Mark Cuban's sitting back and saying, you know what, I should have doubled that money, brought him back over here with Dallas, because he is not a ball-dominant player. He likes to pass the ball. He likes to use the players around him. It just so happens right now he's transitioned into the best player for the New York Knicks.
And he is a player that, when I look at what the Dallas Mavericks need, they need three-point shooters. And Jalen Brunson provided that. You take Luka Doncic, you surround him with a couple three-point shooters because he takes so much energy. He can drive. It's there for you all day. I think Jalen Brunson was a big piece. He came on late last year. Streaky guy. Some of those playoff games, he would go 2 for 8 or he'd go 5 for 5. But I thought he was a big piece. I think Luka does so much for that team. And they're like a piece away. I just don't think Kyrie was that piece.
Who do you have for the Celtics and the Knicks on Sunday?
I took the Knicks last time they played. They just played the Boston Celtics last week.
Last week they beat Boston in New York.
I'm going to go the other way this time. Give me the Boston Celtics 4 or 5 point spread, depending on availability. Again, the NBA, that's the toughest part about the NBA. Full disclosure, I think the NBA as a product that gives just an entertainment value product is terrible. I think it's the worst of the 4 major American sports. I like the Celtics, and I don't know who's playing. I don't care what the projections are, because an hour before tip-off, some guys might be, I'm going to take the day off. I want to get rested up. It's a big rivalry game, and I would expect that to happen, but it does. It's terrible for the NBA, for the game.
I actually have a term for the wagering style, and I call it Moneyline Mania. Because what I look at is, what are the possible outcomes? I've done my handicap, and I know who I like. So now it becomes, how do I bet it? And Jonathan will tell you, that's almost more important, is how you bet versus who you bet, because sometimes you could have the right team and not do it right.